Hi girls, it's Coach LaFrada. I just wanted to review some things with you from last night's practices. The green box here on both sides is called the 18-yard box. Anywhere inside that box, the goalie can go and use their hands. The smaller box is called the 6-yard box. We're going to talk a little bit more about them in a second. Last night we talked about team formation, strategy, and team movement. So we talked about having 2 strikers last night. Talked about 3 midfielders, and we talked about 2 defensive players. If we play in this formation, it helps us with our passing lanes. We actually form a bunch of smaller triangles here. That's going to help us with passing, especially if we stay in these positions as we move throughout the field. We talked about movement from side to side, movement from front to back, and I'm going to show you a quick example of that. So when the ball moves forward, the 2 offensive players are going to move up with the ball. They can move anywhere inside the 18. The 3 midfielders will move up to support the offensive players. They usually hang out around the 18-yard line. Sometimes they can go in. Sometimes we want them to hold 18. And then we want the defensive players to move up to kind of support our offensive players, so we don't have a huge gap in this area here. So we want our defensive players to move up to support and come up to about the circle here. When the ball moves back to our defensive zone, we want our defensive players to move back and our midfielders to move back. There we go. Ball moves back, defensive players move back into the 18, midfielders move back to about the 18 and sometimes in the 18 depending on how many attacking players are in there. And our strikers come back to about the bottom of the circle this time. And we also talked about side-to-side movement last night. For my U10 players, this is where we used the big ropes. We talked about moving from the right side, and the other player playing striker with you moves to the center of the field, and so on and so forth. There's a pink line down the center of the field here. That's an imaginary line. That's just kind of a reference line for you to think about as we're playing. So if the ball moves to the right side of the field, the player closest to that ball will move to get it. When that happens, the other player playing striker will drop to slide to the middle of the field for support. The midfielders will do the same thing. They'll come back and kind of help out and slide to that side of the field. And the last player on the left side will slide down and cover the center of the field. Defensive players will also slide a little bit to help support. And as you see here, we start to create these triangles again. And again, that helps us with passing, so we're not trying to run all over the field with the ball. The ball can move faster if we pass it than if we try to dribble it around the field. If the ball moves to the left side of the field, the left striker moves up because he's closest to the ball. The right striker moves to the center of the field, to that imaginary pink line. The left midfielder slides up for support. The center midfielder slides up to somewhere between the center line and where the left midfielder is, and the right midfielder slides up to cover that center imaginary line again. And the same thing happens with the defenders. And again, here are those triangles again that we have. Okay, and if we can stay in position and keep our spacing and not be on top of each other, that really helps ball movement, getting the ball down the field faster, getting it out of our zone faster, and helps us give us opportunity to score goals. Great job last night. I hope everyone had a fun time. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.